Hello and welcome everyone to my AWS console home. Today I'm going to be talking about EC2 from the hands-on approach. Now, on the CCP level, EC2 stands for what? Let's take a look. So once we go to the search, we can type in EC2 and EC2 is going to pop up. Now, why did I do that? Simply because if EC2 doesn't come up on your recently visited dashboard, that is if you are freshly new to this, then you can easily pull it up from here. Now, when we talk about EC2, they tell us AWS themselves says it is a virtual server in the cloud. So when we go into the EC2 environment, what exactly can we find there? Let's see. So I clicked on EC2. It's gonna take a while, and then there we go. So this is the EC2 dashboard environment where it shows you the sub resources within EC2 itself. These are as follows. We have the EC2, we have dedicated instances, we have the key pair, security group, and as you can see, other sub services as well. But when you take a look at the left hand side, you can see one of the most important sections, which is what is instances. When you take a look here, it says instances once again. And when we think about it in a very different perspective, you would come to understand that EC2s in AWS are used to launch what we call what? Instances. And these instances are the virtual servers within the AWS what? Environment. Now, one of the focus on the CCP which you need to understand is about the instances. You need to understand about the instance type. You need to understand what we call volumes. You need to understand snapshots as well on the CCP. You need to also understand networking and security as a whole on the CCP what area. Now, let's take a look and touch upon some of the basics of understanding CCP what services. Now, when we go to EC2 instances, let's pick up one of the instances and we're going to break down one of these instances in a nutshell. So once this comes up, we're going to provision an instance. Now, as you can see, I have multiple instances which has been stopped, right? These are not in use. Now, before I continue, check out our website, cloudelite.io. We have one of the instances here, which is used to provision those websites. So take a look at it when you're chanced. Now, continuing, these are instances that has been provisioned. Some of these instances have a great details to them. Let's take a look at one of them. So I'm going to check on this, which is the Cloud website one. And when we come down to details, what exactly can we see? We have a lot of stuff here within the details, but let us pick things you need to know specifically. First and first, on the instance that has been provisioned, we have the details that gives us the insights. We have the status and the alarms of this particular server. We have the monitoring and security of the server, as, as well as the networking. And we have the storage as well. So on the detail, this is the instance ID that has been provisioned, and this instance comes with a public IPv4 address, which of course, because it is stopped, you don't have access to it. Now, if this instance is running, we can be able to have access to the public IPv4 address. So just note this and understand that at the TCP level, when you start an instance and it runs, you have the IP address. But when the instance is stopped, the IP address, which is the public to be specific, is no longer there. Now, we also have the private, which is as well here. It doesn't go out. When we come down to status and alarms, of course, This is not in use because our instance is stopped. And then when we come down to the monitoring, we have what we call detailed monitoring and basic monitoring. Now, with the basic monitoring, it monitors your service for 5 minutes, right? Which of course it doesn't charge you anything for it. But with the detailed monitoring, it is more or less of an incremental monitoring within 1 minute or 1 minute interval. You actually pay for that, right? Then we have the security, which talks about the security groups. Right? The security groups is more or less of a firewall in AWS that allows traffic to come in or go out of your instances. And then we have the networking section. The networking is how the instances are configured to allow flow of traffic through and through within this particular dashboard environment. And then last but not the least, we have the storage section. The storage section deals with the size as to how many capacity of information can be stored and used within the what instance. Right now, these are the features or the soft features that you need to know and have a deep insight on the CCP level when you are firstly introduced to what EC2 instances. All right, so we're going to stop here and see you on the next video on instances.